Naya Rivera auditioned for Gabriella in High School Musical.
Should have got it.
How different would the world be? Vanessa Hudgens, Santana? That doesn't work at all, right?
I think it works. I think she could get cunty.
You were too scared to say that and then decided to.
I wasn't scared to say it. I just wanted to be accurate.
I'm recording, by the way, because I feel like we need to stop having conversations that aren't on the podcast because we're just going to be sat here
talking about traffic and stuff.
Yeah.
I'm recording as well.
Okay, sick. Sorry. Sweaty. So you just get hot in general?
I just get hot in general, and then when I wear any over-ear headphones, I get even hotter, full body.
Right. Okay. I think that's... I was going to say that's strange, but isn't that like you put stuff on your, like you wear gloves?
Yeah, it's like the most normal thing in the world, I think.
Yeah, but just ears is weird.
No, that's what earmuffs are made for retaining heat, or beanies. You ever wear
I thought
beanies?
it's just because you get cold ears.
No, it's because I'm going to look it up for you real quick.
Sure.
Heat is...
I know extremities and stuff. I just never thought about my ears as being that.
Yeah, it's like specifically, what is it, like 80% of your heat escapes through your head.
Yes, I mean, I know. Okay, so I guess the headphones kind of block
covering
it a
my
little bit.
ears, and that band on top covers a lot of my head. The idea that most body head heat is lost through the head is a myth, by the way.
Oh, you shouldn't have Googled. I was on your side.
I'm being honest, Andy. I'm not here to lie to anyone.
Yeah. Hey, you shouldn't have Googled anyway, because we're a non-Google podcast. You know.
Ooh, is that true?
We should be. Because as soon as
Google everything we talk about.
Yeah, I know, but that should not be a thing. We should not be a Google podcast because as soon as we start Googling things, then we have to say things that are right. We can't just say our like thoughts and like current feelings on the thing. Like we talked about some person that, you know, there was that really weird tweet thread that he like posted Snapchat conversations and he was like
the Call of Duty guy.
Yeah, and it was the funniest thing ever, but I was like, I don't want to know any more information about it because I'm sure this is like, there's some level of this that's going to be wrong or sad, and I'm not going to enjoy it as much as I'm enjoying it being ignorant to who these people are or what the context is. And then someone left a comment telling me all the context. I was like, well, I said it in the episode. I don't want to know, dude.
Yeah, please don't. I literally asked you to do one thing and it's not telling me any accurate information. Speaking of online internet drama that makes you uncomfortable to read the logs, did you hear about the Moon stuff?
I did hear about the Moon stuff, and I do realize it feels like we're in the podcast right now. I feel like maybe none of this should be in the podcast because this is the High School Musical episode, and I'm here as fucking Zac Efron. This whole time.
Fair enough, but I do think that Moon and his erotic roleplay girlfriend deserves a moment sometime.
All right, well, welcome back, Vintage Cringe. We'll talk about that another day. This is the High School Musical 3 episode. You got to get your head in the game, Stanz. Is your head in the game?
It is because High School Musical 3 was good.
What do you mean was good? We've not seen it yet, Stanz. How often do you think... I think we should stop doing that. I think this is the episode we stop faking.
No, I love it. I
think it's really obvious that we have already seen the thing.
No. I have no idea. What's going to happen? Are they going to go to college?
Yeah.
Holy.
So obviously we've not seen the movie, but you guys, we're going to talk about the movie. This is the way it works. If you're new here, we talk about High School Musical related things. This is just a regular podcast. And then about halfway, we're like, hey, we'll go watch the movie now. And then we come back and we review the movie. And you can watch the movie with us on Patreon, but we'll explain a bit more of that later. Right now, obviously this is High School Musical 3 and we've seen the previous 2. We should do like a little bit of a recap of kind of our emotional journey that we've gone through watching these movies, because it was a roller coaster and I wasn't expecting it to be as much of a roller coaster.
Yeah, we should do that. I know you're not going to ask me to do that.
I was going to say, because you don't remember anything from anything at all, ever.
I remember the Hawaiian Woman song that was like vaguely racist, and I remember their Latin song that was also vaguely racist.
Yes, she has a double banger in both movies. But we're going to tiptoe and maybe forget that those exist. Even though at least one of them is a banger. And I'll let you decide which one you think that is.
Sure.
I'm also, I just want to clarify for the audio listeners and maybe for the video listeners, I am, like, I've tried to look like Zac Efron, but I'm going to now change my hair. Hopefully.
No.
Hold on. Let me do some thumbnail faces. Okay, that was great for the audio listeners because I just keep looking at myself. I'm like, I need to change that. And then I keep going, no, it's for the costume. So I'm taking my headphones off. I can't hear you, Stanz. I'm going to fucking fix my hair.
All right. I'm really stumped, chat. I just learned that whole thing where you lose most of your body heat through your head isn't true, and it's fucking up my whole day.
Your new monitor setup.
What?
Your in-ear monitor. Is that what you're talking about?
No, I was talking about losing heat through your head.
I think you said ears. So I was like, that I only caught the end. I was like, that must have been what you were talking about.
But I do have in-ear monitor for the first time ever. I also have, and I know you can't hear this, I have some buttons, like I can play applause.
I can hear that.
Can you really?
Yes. It's so long.
Oh, I turned off whatever. Oh, that's crazy. Because I could also, wait, you could hear it?
So fucking stupid. Yeah, I can hear it. That's the point. It's you're doing this.
I assume it didn't go into my voice mix. I thought it went into the media mix. And
no, Stanz, it goes into this mix.
I hate that. You know how? Hey.
Fuck you. Okay, neither of us should be able to have this level of power. We need to stop.
Wait, I do have a megaphone.
What?
Wait.
Paging can't. I keep hitting wrong.
So stupid.
It is stupid. It is stupid, man. Let's do a podcast. Let's talk about High School Musical. That's less stupid.
Yeah, that's less stupid. Yeah. I want you to actually try and remember how you felt during this, but I also kind of remember your thoughts and feelings around the time. So don't stress too much. But High School Musical 1, going into it, I was like really, really excited because I love the music from the movies, and I, as a kid, didn't actually like High School Musical at all. I was one of the kids that was like, boo, that's for girls. That's so cringe.
Yeah, you were primed to not like it.
Yeah,
you hadn't even watched it, maybe. Yeah,
I had a stepsister that was like really into High School Musical, so I was therefore, as the brother, very anti High School Musical. And then it's very funny. A couple of years go around, Glee comes out. I'm like, fuck yeah, that's my shit. I love that.
You missed out on so many years of High School Musical.
Yeah, I think I was living in a world where it's taking the piss out of High School Musical, so that makes it what I like, right?
Yeah, and it kind of was, but it kind of wasn't, to be fair.
Yeah. So when I was like now realizing that, hey, I love the songs from High School Musical, I'm kind of on board with this. I wanted to get back into the High School Musical world. And then we watched it, and it was maybe one of the worst movies I've ever seen.
It was bad. It was so bad that at this point, when I look back at High School Musical 1, I am conflating it with the Disney Channel original movie, Eddie's $1 Million Cook-Off. And I'm thinking that, like, oh, he wanted to cook and not play sports. Yeah, I don't even remember
you
High School
brought that
Musical
up a
1.
lot during High School Musical 1.
Did I really?
Yeah, and I
it's
don't know.
It's the same movie, but one is better.
Yeah, I just don't know the Eddie's Cook-Off thing, but I'm sure the parallels are there. Yeah, I think you were just really... I was very eager to watch it, and you were like, I don't really want to watch it. And then when we ended up watching it, you were not pleasantly surprised, but you left it way more positive than I did, because I was expecting me to like it, and I genuinely didn't enjoy myself at all, which sucks. But then it was actually really funny because you were way more positive than I was, but then I was like, dude, I can't wait for High School Musical 2 though, because I actually remember parts of that, and most of the songs are like the big bangers that I remember are from High School Musical 2. So I was super excited for it. And I think you said something like, there is no level of money that we could get from Patreon that would make me want to watch that garbage.
Here's the deal.
And then we watched it.
What I like about High School Musical 1 is it was short. It actually, they didn't know if they had a hit on their hands. They didn't spend a lot of minutes on it.
Yeah.
And High School Musical 2 is Titanic length.
But that's not fair. Because
it is fair.
We accidentally watched the extended cut that has just a full golf session in the middle of the movie and another song. Too long. I agree. But I don't think the version that like most people watched was what we watched. I think we got a bad end of the straw. And I don't think as far as I can tell, I don't think the shortened version actually exists on Disney Plus. I think you can only watch the extended version.
It makes it a worse experience for anyone watching it.
Yes, it was. Unfortunately, I left maybe feeling worse than I did from High School Musical 1. Because even though High School Musical 2, I feel like is a better movie, because I was expecting it to be even better, and it was still just as bad writing, just as bad acting, like plot contrivances. They fucked over Sharpay a second time. There was like so many things that I was like, why the hell are they doing this? This is crazy. That it made me not enjoy the movie as much as I thought I would, so I was even more annoyed. I can't remember, what were your thoughts
kind
at
of
the
just
end?
boring. I think High School Musical 2 is just like, I don't really give a shit about them working here. I don't actually give a shit about what's going on. I don't like that they're not communicating with each other as like the leads.
Because High School Musical 1 was it was them auditioning to be in the High School Musical, but they never actually did the High School Musical. It ended on the auditions, as far as I can tell.
Well, they did in High School Musical 3, buddy.
Well, you don't know that. You don't know that, yes, Stanz.
Oopsies.
And then what I thought was crazy is to go from the auditions for the musical to then summer. We didn't even. I would assume that the sequel would then be them doing a musical, right?
Or anything. Yeah.
Yeah, but it's just weird for them to go, the next one, we're going to do it, they're on vacation. Do you want to know an interesting fact that I heard about High School Musical 3 whilst I was trying to find some interesting facts to talk about? They were initially going to do High School Musical 3 as a haunted version.
Dude, that would go so hard.
It was going to be like a Halloween style High School Musical thing, which would have been kind of sick. Obviously we've not seen the movie yet, but I think is better. What we got is maybe better than a haunted version.
They only do that when it's like the end of a franchise and they're like, we need to milk this. Where's the Christmas version? Where's the Halloween version? And so the fact that they made just like a regular movie shows that they had faith in it, right? They believed in it as a standalone.
Yeah, I agree. I think they could have maybe done. It's like Shrek, right? When Shrek was dead, they did all those Shrek the Halls, the Christmas like straight to DVD shit.
Sorry, I thought you meant when Shrek was like canonically dead, like he dies in the third movie.
Oh shit!
I'm
bro, they're doing Shrek 5 and they're gonna fucking Weekend at Bernie's him.
Yeah. When Shrek was unpopular, yeah, they were doing Shrek the Halls and like the Donkey movie and stuff. Yeah.
Yeah, you'd expect them to literally, it would be like, fuck, there's no way we can actually make this work. Let's make a Halloween version. And instead, they went the opposite way and released High School Musical 3 in theaters, like nationwide, worldwide. It was fucking crazy. And I think it paid off. I think it made like $250 million, like $250 million. It's fucking crazy.
Really?
For a theatrical release of a Disney Channel movie, that's like actually insane numbers. That's sick. It might be the best. I don't know many other Disney Channel movies that have
Disney. Calling it Disney Channel movie is like unfair. It's like Disney's had some heat.
No, Disney Channel specifically, because this is a Disney Channel movie that got a theatrical release. There was, I think, Lizzie McGuire got a movie. I'm trying to think of anything that would compete. Right? Hannah Montana has got to have had a movie. She's had a couple theatrical releases, hasn't she?
I have no idea.
There was
High School Musical 3.
Do the hoedown, do the hoe. Do you know that song, Stan?
Descendants, the hoedown throwdown?
Yeah, that was from her Hannah Montana movie. I think that went into theaters, maybe?
Yeah, Descendants is what people are saying is like the only one that could compete with High School Musical 3, but this is really just the first Reddit thread I saw. Yeah,
Descendants is a different era for me. That was like the children of all of the villains from Disney movies, right? I think.
Oh, that's kind of a cool idea.
Yeah, it was like the son of Snow White, not Snow White, the Wicked Witch from Snow White and all those kind of things. But yeah, it was on when I was working at a after school children's club. I wasn't like one of the children there, so I had never actually watched it and cared about it. So
Dude, the way that Disney fans talk about it, this is a message from only 3 months ago, so it's relatively recent for like DCOMs, and it says, it's actually cruel and disgusting how Disney doesn't do the bare minimum of hosting a weekly DCOM night at the Captain Historical Movie Theater they own on Highland. Then they underpromote these throwback nights and find out by a small influencer days after that High School Musical was screening or Hannah Montana, because the demand is there, and some movie aged well, especially with Return of Zombies and The Descendants.
That sounds like a fake
disgusting
message that people were putting out when they wouldn't redo Morbius in theaters because everyone was busy.
It's cruel and disgusting that Sony won't put Morbius back in theaters.
If it will make $1 billion if they put it back in. And then they did. It's so funny. Dude, I love Morbius. So sick. Stanz, there was actually one thing that is a redeeming quality of High School Musical 2 that we talked about in the last episode of Binge and Cringe that we were doing High School Musical 2 in, which is the masterpiece that is Bet on It. You know, Kenny Ortega, the director, we saw like some behind the scenes of him teaching Zac Efron. He's in the golf course. He's doing all the jumping and the clicking.
Yeah, and we saw, what's her name, Trisha do it.
Yes, because of how iconic it is, of course, the Queen has to also do it. But I learned something again. I've been doing a lot of learning, Stanz.
That's good.
In the lead up to doing this episode, I've been doing a lot of learning. And Bet on It was... Oh, actually, let me share my screen. So Zac Efron's iconic Bet on It was filmed over 2 weeks in small segments, and they didn't realize how insane all of the dance moves looked when you put them together until they got to the editing process and went, oh shit, this is a lot.
Yeah, maybe we did a little too much. If it takes 2 weeks to film a 30 to 60 second dance number, then yeah, you're gonna have a few moves.
Yeah, it was actually the only reason it took 2 weeks is because Kenny Ortega refused to film the golf course if it wasn't in pristine sunlight. So they only had like certain amount of hours every day that they could do it. So they just had to keep on coming back. And I think
this last quote from them is so funny.
What, this
Zach
last paragraph?
was so trusting and so committed to any idea that Kenny and I would throw at him. The choreographer said, "We didn't feel like it was silly or camp at the time. We felt it was strong and powerful."
Bro,
it wasn't until we saw all the chunks cut together at the end that we realized, oh, this is a lot.
Yeah, dude, it's so funny. Especially like some of the clicks and then the spins off rocks and the jumps.
Spins off rocks, jumps. Yeah, so many jumps.
And then that one scene where he's looking at the reflection of himself and he's like...
Oh, in the water.
Oh, and it's such a bad CGI version and he splashes the water. And he's not going to stop till he hits that spot. Fuck it. And he goes, dude, it's so sick. It's actually amazing. They cooked, and I'm glad that they didn't take a long time to... I'm glad they did take a long time to do that scene because can you imagine? I think if this wasn't a Disney Channel movie, they would have got to the editing process and gone, fuck, we should do reshoots to fix this because we actually overcooked. We need to like cool it down.
Yeah, for sure. Yeah.
And we wouldn't have got the masterpiece, which I like. There's a lot of things that I would say, oh, that's really good, and like be sort of like ironically saying it, and really it's cringe. I genuinely think it's actually sick, right? Like
it's a little too much.
I agree, but I don't think I would care about it if it wasn't too much, you know?
I see.
Like it's the perfect level for me to think this is sick, and I enjoy that, and I wouldn't ever the song's good. I don't think I would go back to watch like the actual music video as in like him performing it in the movie ever, unless he did all the fucking cool shit that he did.
Yeah, I guess where we differ is I wouldn't actually go back and watch it at all.
Yeah, but you don't go back and watch a lot of things, right?
True. Yeah.
Especially not High School Musical songs, because I don't think, as we've learned, I don't think you are here to listen to the songs when we're watching some of these musicals. I think you're like,
I like the
come
songs,
on, get it over.
If they go more than 30 seconds, I'm like, dude, I get it. We don't need like the second chorus. Like we've heard it the first time. This is a movie, not a fucking song. You know what I mean? Yeah,
that reminds me of you've got a personality test quiz video coming out soon. That you did, and you were about to do the ADHD test in that video, and you were like, honestly, I think it would take too long. We should probably just skip to the autism test. Does that sound good? And then someone in chat is like, that's exactly what someone with ADHD would say. You're like, exactly.
Yeah, that was the test. Yeah,
that was the test. You don't need to do it now. So yeah, that makes perfect sense that you're like, come on, skip these songs. Let's get to the next one already.
Yeah, I need new lyrics, which they were giving me, but then the second I hear like a repeat, we're back at the chorus, I'm like, I would rather be anywhere than here.
That's crazy, because the chorus is the best bit. You want to hear it at least a couple times. It's a banger.
I personally, I don't.
Now, speaking of something that I really want to hear multiple times, as many times as possible, I found another crazy thing. A Mexican version of High School Musical where instead of basketball, they sing about soccer or football.
Is this a skit or is this real?
I have no idea. I have no context other than this tweet, and I listened to maybe 5 seconds and went, bro, this is fucking so sick.
Okay.
So I wanted to share it with you. You ready?
Yeah, I'm ready. I'm watching.
Football, always football. And they've even got the squeak noise of them on the basketball courts for some reason still.
They do, which is a High School Musical classic.
Yeah, it's so sick. Are you on board so far?
I'm on board so far.
Yeah, this is great.
That is ridiculous, to be fair. A person singing and dancing to I don't like singing and dancing is like the cognitive dissonance in my head is tearing it apart.
There was a whole song about that in High School Musical 2, though, Stanz. There was such a banger.
Was there?
Yeah, I don't dance. I know you can. Not a chance. No. Remember where they have sex at the end?
Wow. Oh, because he's playing baseball.
They're playing baseball because they want to have sex, but they can't show that in the movie, so they just play baseball.
They want to have sex, to be clear.
And then they swap.
Yeah, but he doesn't
outfits
dance,
at the
but he
end.
does sing. I feel like if it was like I don't dance and sing, I would be like, this is ridiculous. You know what I mean?
Yeah, but they're dancing throughout the whole entire thing.
They are dancing, to be fair. I'll give you that.
Yeah,
Well,
it's a whole dance routine. But again, obviously the whole thing is like not real, but it is real. It's hard to tell where the line is in High School Musical.
Yeah. Especially
not that we've seen it in High School Musical 3. It's very hard to tell where the line is. But we've not seen the movie, so we wouldn't know. Sorry, I guess we've already heard all the the important bits. There's got to be an extra bit, right? There's got to be like a verse or... I've also just realized we should maybe be translating for the audio listeners that don't speak Mexican.
Sure. When one of us, Spanish by the way, when one of us was off the team, got together and reached the finals.
Oh yeah, sorry. I guess a lot of this isn't really going to make any sense. Maybe we'll see if there's another line.
Yeah. Yeah.
You know, we make it to the
Just
finals.
imagine
One of
they're
us
singing about football and saying we're going to win a lot.
That's all it is. Yeah. But I wish. I guess that I should have done more research into this. Apparently, there's a whole thing. It looks kind of insane. There's also a version from Argentina.
Wait, let's hear it.
No subtitles on this one, unfortunately. So
yeah, but I could hear that they don't like to sing and dance.
Yeah, I guess so.
Wow.
Oh wait, sorry. Are they?
That's football, always football.
Yeah. Is it literally the same song?
Yeah, it's the same song. This is just the Argentinian version of Mexican High School Musical.
Yeah, but that's crazy, right? To do the exact same version of the thing that is a knockoff of another thing.
Well, it's not a knockoff. I think this guy's saying that Disney made it. Disney Mexico made it.
What?
That's what he's saying.
Yeah, but
you don't like when I Google?
But
Disney...
then why didn't Disney Argentina make their own version?
There is no Disney Argentina.
So who made the Argentina one?
High School Musical El Desafío is the Mexico one. Okay. It's a spin-off of the American film High School Musical for the Mexican market based on the book Battle of the Bands. It began filming in 2008.
So sad. I just assumed it was a knockoff. I didn't even realize it was actually Disney.
Oh, I'm gonna blow your mind. The Argentinian one was first.
Get boomed! It was Argentina.
Wow. Yo. And that is the first Disney-branded feature film made in Latin America, the Argentinian High School Musical.
And there's a Brazilian version I'm seeing here as well, which
shit, maybe
looks even better.
I play it, and I want them to say football, always football, but in Portuguese.
Go.
Say the line.
The only bit I understood was there was footy baller somewhere in there.
Yeah.
I wish every single one was just them saying football in different languages. That would be very sick. Interesting, crazy rabbit hole. I just thought that was so funny that I wonder if other countries listening to like Get Your Head in the Game view it the same, right?
Yeah.
Like just as like insane that they're just saying Get Your Head in the Game. Gotta get my head in the game.
I'm sure they do.
Yeah. Isn't the world beautiful, Stanz? You know, different cultures and everything.
We're all coming together over High School Musical.
So true. Over our love of spherical sports.
Yes, sir.
Hey, cool fact. We've got a lot of cool facts coming up, Stanz. There's a whole host of them. But maybe the coolest fact that I learned, and I have no evidence whether this is true, it was just on a cool facts list. Naya Rivera auditioned for Gabriella in Glee, in High School Musical.
Should have got it.
How different would the world be? Right?
And imagine if what's her name was
Vanessa Hudgens Santana. That doesn't work at all.
I think it works.
No,
I think she could get cunty.
You were too scared to say that and then decided to. That's sick.
I was trying to think what the best word was, actually. I wasn't scared to say it. I just wanted to be accurate.
Accurate with the level of cunt. That got me thinking, though. It got me thinking for a little bit because I was like, oh, interesting. I wonder what other Glee characters would be able to play like roles from High School Musical. And then I kind of realized all of them because that's the whole point of the show.
Yeah, basically it does just go right across.
They're
like
just
Finn
a one-to-one.
Homie.
I think Naya Rivera is the only strange one there because it would obviously, if you were doing a one-to-one, Rachel would be Gabriella, right?
Right, but I think Rachel, that's the one where it doesn't go across because Rachel is so specific and also not necessarily good. Like Gabriella is like, she is smart and good and right and like all the things she does and sings. Whereas Rachel is like a little off.
Yeah, I agree. But I think if we're going off like Glee is supposed to be like a parody of High School Musical, then that's kind of the point. Like all of them, I think they play their roles so well because they would be the perfect person to play the role that they're the parody of.
Fair enough.
Like Quinn, I don't think needs to change too much if she was going to be a Sharpay, right? Like maybe a little bit more flamboyant. Whereas I think Kurt is like a completely different character. If we're doing like a Kurt Ryan comparison,
right.
Kurt like owns his stuff, and I don't think Ryan was given enough chance to like
until
own it.
From what I've heard,
I still don't think. I think Ryan deserved more in all of the movies.
I mean, I agree with you, but true.
Because I feel like obviously they're completely different shows and completely different characters, but the fact that like you give a little bit of like plot development to a character like that and you get the best storyline in the whole entire of Glee. It would be cool if there was more of that in High School Musical, but there's also, not very many actual plots in High School Musical, so I guess I'm asking for a bit too much. I
think you are. You have to go to the Argentinian High School Musical to get that.
Yes, soccer. Sorry, football. So we've got a whole host of fun facts, Stanz.
Right, that's been the theme of the day. And
you can see these. So I want you to...
I haven't been looking, though.
You haven't been looking, and you've been good. You haven't even commented or Googled anything to do with what I've been showing you on the screen.
Nope.
Where do you want to start out of these three?
Let's go from top to bottom.
You can read them out for the class if you want, and then decide what you want.
Our options are Kenny Ortega, toxic work environment.
Ooh.
Ryan Gay, and Grease sequel.
Okay, I'll be honest. I can't even remember Ryan Gay. I don't know what this link is going to be.
I assumed he was gay. Is Ryan from...
well, don't go. This is you're doing the thing we're not supposed to. If we're going to talk about this one, I'll do the link. Are we talking about this one?
Do the link. Sure,
yeah,
do the link.
We'll find out what Ryan Gay means. Okay, and it should be highlighted. Perfect. Kenny Ortega didn't think Disney would let Ryan be openly gay. Okay. I do remember this now. Lucas Grabeel, is that how you say his name? Grable? I don't actually know how you say his last name.
Me either. Sorry, Lucas.
Ryan from High School Musical, if you are uneducated like me and didn't know. He was interviewed and said, I came up to Kenny one day and was like, hey, so can we talk about the character for a second? Ryan's gay, right? Which I think is like such a sick way to be like. Also, when was this? Like one day? Do you think this was during the first or the second movie?
It's got to be during the first one, right?
It's like, Ryan's gay. Just checking, right? I wonder if Lucas... actually, I don't know if Lucas is gay, but I guess you shouldn't make assumptions.
Ooh, straight as an arrow, dude.
Yeah. I'm just double checking because it keeps on saying, I think he's talking about the character rather than...
He's talking about the character.
Yeah. Okay. So Lucas is straight, and so it's extra funny to read the script and be like, hey, I'm just checking, Ryan's gay, right?
I don't want to make any, jumps here, but it's from what I'm reading, it seems like it.
Yeah. And then apparently Kenny responded, I mean, it's a touchy subject sometimes with children's programming. I'm not sure if Disney is ready now for that kind of thing. I absolutely agree that he is, and I think we have an opportunity here to showcase a real person, which is very sick. That's like a good way, especially if this is High School Musical 1, that was like, what, 2009?
That's a good question.
2006.
2006, holy.
So to be like, hey, listen, Ryan's gay, but they're not going to let us do that. So
it was real don't ask, don't tell.
yeah, which is insane that you had to even do that. It's just a fucking character in a fucking kids movie. But I guess people are still annoyed about that kind of stuff now, which is fucking insane. So it's very cool to have
Are
this.
you still watching High School Musical, the series?
I am still watching High School Musical, the musical
season
series. What have you been Googling, Stanz? Are you looking up things?
I'm the same thing. I'm reading the same thing you're reading. I want you to. We should go away from this topic.
I already know a couple of things. Like I know that there are some cameos that are coming up.
You.
I know. I appreciate you.
Okay.
I'm about to finish season 2, but I know of some things that happen in the future.
Got it.
And just because I know them doesn't mean I should vocalize them because people will probably watching it through. But yeah, I am because in High School Musical, the series, they live in a universe where the High School Musical movies like also exist. So they just happen to go to the real school that High School Musical was filmed at. And
which means that Ryan doesn't exist, but Lucas does in their universe. Is that what I'm meant to understand?
Yes, but I don't know if he's playing himself in this universe because I know a ton of there's a ton of cameos from people, and I'm not sure what roles they're playing or what's happening or how they're even in it. There's been no mention of anything up to season 2, so I have no idea. I was expecting there to be way more cameos. Like season 1, if that went well, I thought season 2 would just be like, okay, now here's all the cast that aren't Zac Efron and Vanessa Hudgens.
Once we prove it's a real movie and we get some budget from Disney.
Yeah, so I'm surprised. Also, season 2 of High School Musical, the series, if we're talking about it,
sure,
they're just straight up not doing High School Musical songs.
Why would they? They have to make their own songs.
The whole first season was them performing High School Musical, the musical, as a musical in their school. So they were doing a High School Musical of High School Musical. So every episode was essentially them working on like a different song from High School Musical, and you got to hear them perform it. And there was also some like new songs and stuff. So it was a cool like way of bringing in new people to do the same material, even though it was like different. And then season 2, they're just like, hey, this other school is doing something, so we're going to do Beauty and the Beast.
Oh.
And then
that's weird. I thought they were going to do their own original music. Beauty and the Beast is weird.
No, they just do Beauty and the Beast. And I was like, episode 1, they revealed that, and I was like, okay, this is an episode 1 thing, and then they're going to do High School Musical 2, surely, right? And then they are still doing it, and I'm like episode 8 out of 12. So I'm pretty sure they're just straight up performing Beauty and the Beast, because it's been that every single episode. along with like original songs, but the original songs aren't the musical that they're performing. They're just like singing songs in between about their life.
Right.
It's still really good, and I do like the show, but I kind of want High School Musical songs in my High School Musical show. That feels like a given, really. And there is, I have a feeling that they learned from their mistakes when they made season 2, and then maybe season 3 and season 4. They're like, hey, we'll go back to High School Musical. We're really sorry.
We know why you guys are watching.
Yeah. So I'm hoping for that to happen. But the show's still carrying itself, and it's actually like very emotional. It's much better written than High School Musical, which feels bad to say. But I just wish there was more High School Musical songs, you know? Okay, so Ryan is gay, Stanz. What else are we talking about? A Grease sequel or Kenny Ortega's toxic work environment?
I want to end with Grease sequel because I love Grease.
Okay.
So let's do Kenny Ortega toxic work environment.
Sure thing.
Is this going to be sad?
It's not actually that bad. I was kind of clickbaiting you with the title, I'll be honest. So Kenny Ortega had a jar on set, and each time a cast member was caught yawning, they had to put money inside.
I'll tell you, if we had one of those for this episode, and it's not this episode is boring, I'm just really sleepy. I can't stop yawning. I'm sorry if you're watching this and you're seeing me and you're like, damn, does Stanz even want to be here? I'm just tired, man.
I'm a big, like, even if I am enjoying something, yawning does not equate bored to me at all, right?
Sure.
Like,
It just
sure,
means sleepy.
if I am bored, would I be yawning? Maybe. But just because, it's a false, is that the right term? False equivalency? Where
yes,
just every yawn doesn't mean I'm bored, but if I'm bored, I'm probably yawning.
Yeah, but I will say that, like, if you're on a roller coaster, you're probably not yawning. Like, your adrenaline kicks in.
Yeah, sure, but if I'm on set and I'm not like actively on stage and it's like an early fucking call, I'm probably gonna yawn a couple of times. I think you should be allowed to yawn without having to fucking give away money. I think that's crazy. So I read that and I was like, damn, that would not feel like a nice set to be on.
Especially teenagers, right? Who are like tired and need more sleep. Yeah.
But then I read that they donated money to Make-A-Wish Foundation, and I'm like, I don't really care then. That's actually kind of sick.
Wow. Toxic? That's not toxic.
Yeah, that's kind of fine. Obviously, I guess in my head, I didn't know where the money was going in this universe. If Kenny Ortega was pocketing all of the money that they were putting in this jar, that would be fucking insane, right?
Yeah. Kind of cool though. Kind of alpha Chad.
It would be very alpha Chad. Very alpha brain based of him. Speaking of alpha brain, sorry, I've been working on this video for a long time, the personality quiz, so I keep on thinking of references to it. Someone called you Joe Rogan with hair in that video, and that was so funny because you became a conspiracy theorist.
Stuff? I'm trying to think. Okay,
Yeah.
got it.
Every single question you were like, I'm not a conspiracy theorist, and then you'd answer like full strongly agree.
Yeah. I was giving my take. That video is coming out today, right?
It should be. Yeah, it's ready to go.
Okay, sick. Yeah.
It's very funny. You should go and watch if you haven't already. But if you're watching this
watch
podcast,
some of the moments that you
on.
sent me that were very funny.
Yeah. Okay, and then we will end on Grease sequel.
Okay.
Which sounds, I think I did a good job of clickbaiting these because it sounds more exciting than it actually is. Here we are. In the early stages of High School Musical, it was going to be a Grease sequel. So the early version, 1999, so High School Musical 1 came out in 2006, so a very early version, was Grease 3, and it would have starred, this is the crazy part, Britney Spears and Justin Timberlake.
That's so sick.
I'm assuming when they were dating. I can't remember when, because they dated for a while, right?
I believe so.
But that was like, I was too young to be caring about whether Justin Timberlake and Britney Spears were dating. I've heard that Britney Spears didn't have a good time with that, and it was like very toxic throughout that period of her life.
Supposedly he sucked.
Yeah,
is what I've heard.
And I've only heard this through Cutie's telling of it on Wine About It. Here we go, the weekly mention of Wine About It. So I haven't actually heard this from anyone who has gone through it. But my version of this is that she had a lawyer that she also then, when she was with Justin Timberlake, he started to use the same lawyer, and then that lawyer who she trusted turned on her and then fucked her over and then kind of buddied up with Justin Timberlake.
That's awful.
Yeah. He was like, hey, you should take this deal, otherwise people will think you're a weak woman. And then she took the deal and went, great, that's good for Justin Timberlake, see you later. Which is insane.
No.
So, yeah, obviously there's a ton of horrible things that have happened to Britney Spears. So that's just on the list, which is very sad. So, hey, maybe good that this didn't happen, that Grease 3 wasn't starring these two, and I don't think would have done very well. Grease 3?
Dude, it would have been iconic. You're crazy.
Who even knows what happened in Grease 2? Why would Grease 3 all of a sudden be
because
huge?
this is Grease 3 would be megastars. You know, we're getting Justin Timberlake and Britney Spears at like the peak of their fame.
Yeah, I just don't know how plausible it would be that they'd even be able to get them, right? Like, would they have called it Grease 3 or like Grease maybe like a different name? Because if they like rebranded it as like a reboot of Grease, I think that could maybe go hard.
Grease School Musical.
Oh, he's spitting. Even the term, this is an extra additional bonus fact.
Sure.
High School Musical, the name of the movie was actually a placeholder name, and they were going to come up with something else.
The working title.
Yeah, and then they'd like been using it so much, and they were like, it kind of just perfectly describes the movie. Let's just stick with it. I don't think any of the people that wrote it were actually happy that they called it High School Musical, but it's turns out very iconic stance.
Interesting.
And I don't say that too much. Are you Googling?
Yeah, I am.
It's insane.
You say iconic a lot, but
I was like, hey, here's a thing that Stanz would say something to, and you're like, yep.
I'm just thinking, when Grease 2 came out in 1982 and this would come out in like 2001, I think there was enough time for the Grease 3 to be good.
Yeah, but that's why I think it should be called Grease 3. If it was like Grease the musical, Grease high school version.
What if it was Grease Generations?
That sounds awful. Was it like a fucking Matrix movie? What are you on about?
Yeah, because it's like the next generation of Grease.
Okay, you know what? You got me there. That is true.
Love that.
That would be what it would be. Okay.
Are we ready to watch High School Musical 3?
We haven't seen it, so I'm so excited to watch it. Hopefully, it is better than the previous two.
Can't be worse.
It maybe could be, but we don't know yet because we haven't seen it. So if you want to see it with us, actually, for the first time, we haven't. We would obviously we're doing a bit. Previous us actually saw it for the first time, so I have only seen clips of High School Musical 3. And Stanz had never seen anything, I don't think, right?
Right. No, not at all.
So our first time watching through, go and check out the Patreon. The full live commentary is up there. And it is synced up using our extension that you can pay $5 for. And it literally, I don't know how else to describe it to you guys to show how sick it is, but it takes one time installing it, and then you go on Disney Plus, and every single thing that we've ever done a live commentary to that is on Disney Plus, you just press play on the episode and it plays along with you. It's so sick. If you're familiar with The Yard, they have their Disney.com series, and it works exactly the same as their extension does. Very sick. Go and check it out. And if you're still not convinced, here is a little clip of us watching High School Musical 3. This dude!
What? Wait, when did Inception come out?
That's what I was gonna say! I think he did it before Inception, dude!
You have to Google it. You have to Google it.
This is 2008. I don't know when Inception came out. 2010, dude! 2010. It's pre-Inception!
Dude, tell me that's not a hot tweet, putting these two side by side. You know what I mean? High School Musical 3 walked so Inception could run. And it's the two next to each other. What clip do you think it's going to be?
I actually don't know. What clip should it be, do you think? You got any in mind?
No, I can't even remember the fucking movie.
That's worrying. Because we're about to talk about it.
I know, and I have no idea. I have no idea what to
Hey,
say.
welcome back. We've just watched the movie. Wow.
Topical.
We
Front of
know so
mind.
much about the movie, and we've remembered
Yeah.
every single scene.
Yes.
Stanz, do you... Obviously, I've just left in the bit where you were like, I don't fucking remember the movie. Do you actually remember your thoughts, at least, from like after watching it? What was your initial like takeaway after finishing the movie?
Yeah, my initial takeaway is in the trilogy, this is the first one that is a real movie. And it makes
Yes,
sense that this
for
is
sure.
the one that was released in theaters because they like followed regular movie making practices. They pushed the plot through at like the right amount of time. They didn't spend too much time on silly things and they got to the end. I finished it and went like, oh, I watched a movie, which I'd never felt before at the other
I completely agree. I think we were fucked with watching the extended cut of High School Musical 2.
Yeah, it feels only like superfan psychopaths should watch that. I
Yeah.
was just like, what am I doing here?
I don't think I don't think we would have felt like it was a real movie if we weren't, even if we'd not watched the extended cut for High School Musical 2. But we would have had a better experience for sure, because this movie felt like a normal length. Maybe this was an extended version. I never actually checked. We only checked on High School Musical 2 because of how bad it was.
Yeah, I mean, you had to, because something felt wrong, right? It was just
Yeah.
like, what is happening? Yeah.
But regardless, it was an amazing movie for like compared to its predecessors. Like it's leagues above the previous two just for it feeling like a movie.
And especially like obviously we talked about like the way the plot moves and like this is a real movie, they paid real writers, but the singing and dancing was also so much better.
Dude, not only like the choreography from all of the movies has like been pretty fucking good. But it was more the budgets that came along with the choreography. So like the stage design, the fact that like the artistic direction that it went into, it actually, it's crazy to say this about a High School Musical movie, but it had an artistic direction, dude. Like
It did.
There were so many moments when the characters were performing a song and you couldn't tell if this was meant to be like a dream world where is this really happening or is it not really happening, because the overall plot of the movie was essentially that High School Musical 3 is the characters doing High School Musical, the musical, which is, there's so many levels of meta
It's very
section.
of its own butt.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But it was kind of sick. And then we got halfway through the movie and we were like, are the songs that we're watching them doing the songs that they're going to be performing in the musical that they're going to do? Or is this like just random songs? And then as we were saying that, the song that we were doing, they were actually performing it on the stage as a
it like
rehearsal.
zoomed out and it showed like the trussing and lights and it was like, oh wow, yeah, it was just a rehearsal, which is very cool concept.
Very cool concept, because every single one of the performances didn't feel like it. The way that they filmed it was like it was a musical on a stage. There wasn't like in High School Musical 2, there's a lot of sets that are like around a pool and you can tell, like, even if it's not a real golf course, we're meant to think that it's a real golf course and a real like pool that they're walking around or whatever. Every single set on this felt like we were meant to think they were on a stage and that all of the scenery and the things behind them were props for a real musical that was set on stage. And it was so like the fact that you could, for every single musical number, you're just like, oh, we're like actually watching a musical, and people have thought about the set design and thought about the choreography and the music. Pretty fucking good. I'd say maybe the best out of the 3 movies. Everything was great about it.
Yeah, it was really good. You know, one thing that did stick in my head that I've gone back and forth over since we watched it?
Okay, go on.
Rocketman.
I haven't seen Rocketman. That's the Elton John.
Wasn't it? No. What was the kid's name? Rocket Boy, astronaut. The fucking little kid. It's Rocketman, wasn't it?
It might be Rocketman. Sorry, I thought you were going to compare this musical to Rocketman.
No, that would be like real critique. So
yeah, I think it was called Rocketman. Let me Google. I'll find out his name.
The movie is called Rocketman. I don't know if the kid was.
You talk. I'll find out his name.
Okay, so while we were watching High School Musical 3, if you watched with us, we were talking about like, oh, I understand why they put Jimmy Zara, aka Rocketman, in this movie, because
you're
they're
just
going
looking
to
at
try
me
and
googling to act like you remembered the guy's name.
I remember Jimmy Zara.
I don't think we even find out his name is Jimmy Zara in the fucking movie, Stan. So it's crazy for you to act like you remembered it.
I remember Jimmy. It's Jimmy Zara, dude, the Rocketman.
No one would forget him.
Our assumption was that they put him in because the characters were aging out. Hey, High School Musical is over. We're going to need like a next generation. And that made sense to me, although the characters, the way they were written, weren't like that appealing. I don't know if I would want to see Rocketman continue on.
Yeah.
But the more I thought about it, I'm like laying in bed and I'm like, no, they put this annoying ass freshman in because the kids who watched High School Musical 1 as like junior high kids or freshmen or youngsters are now seniors and feel like they are better than like the people they would see. And so this is something that they can associate with. Like, yeah, those youngsters are so dumb and stupid. Am I right? And I think that's true.
Do you think that was really the reason? There's no...
Because they didn't do anything with Jimmy. They didn't make a High School
there's
Musical
no
4.
part of me that thinks they were actually... I agree with what you're saying, which is the roles that these characters, like Sharpay's understudy, Rocketman, those characters are meant to be the usurpers of the fucking...
The throne.
The thrones of these huge life characters that are in this universe. In theory, that they could do a High School Musical 4 that would be with Rocketman and the Sharpay clone or whatever, and have Sharpay come back as like the teacher, because that was what she got at the end, I think, right? She was going to be helping out with the...
she was going to be the assistant to the drama club, I believe, but yeah.
So they were setting up what seemed like foundations for those things, which would make sense and would be a kind of thing that I guess like Disney would do, to be like, oh, we've got to make sure there's room for more movies in this to make more money. Mm-hmm. But the way that they actually wrote it was honestly like, it was like a Disney executive said, you have to include these roles so we can maybe do another one. And the writers and directors were like, I do not want anyone to tarnish our legacy, so let's make these characters the most dog shit characters that no one would ever want to touch.
Yeah.
Because you don't leave that movie thinking that they are going to actually do those roles. It's almost like...
Only Sharpay and the assistant, actually.
They
kind of stole the show.
No. I think Sharpay, yes, but the assistant was fucking so bad. They cast a British person, dude. They definitely didn't want anyone to fucking fill that role.
What's wrong with British people?
And she was so out of place. And it made sense because British equals villain in a lot of media. But like, I don't know, it was not... she was not good.
In real life to most countries out there.
Yeah, sorry. As an American, you're saying that?
Also villains.
Also villains. Hey, it's both of us. Are we the bad guys? Yeah. Oh, fuck.
I mean, we are just we're the same people. You just came over here.
Yeah, no, I was... Are we the bad? I was doing the David Mitchell skit. Very funny.
Where we have skulls on our hats.
Yeah, they're just Nazis, aren't they? Let's say it. And it's, hey, fucking demonetizers. Spoiler alert: we're not actually monetized, so you can't demonetize us.
Oof.
Google fucked us.
Did they really?
Yeah. So because I was like, I think when I was 14 or 15. I got monetization on a YouTube channel, and then Google, Google AdSense, were like, we have to send you confirmation of where you live or whatever, so we'll send you a letter to your address. And either I never got that letter or I was 15 years old and I just messed it up. But I've been spending the last 8 months trying to get them to reopen my AdSense account, and I can't make another one because I already have one. And every single barrier that comes up is the most dogshit insane thing. It is like, you have to prove your address. So I'm like, okay, send me another letter then. And then they don't send me another letter. It doesn't come. So I say, okay, can I open a new account? And they're like, yeah, sure, you can open a new account. Just close your other one. To close my other one, I have to somehow verify my address to verify who I am. But how do I have to verify it to delete it? I just don't want it to exist. I want to start again because I'm not even at that address anymore. It's crazy. So, yeah, Google's fucking us, and we're not monetized.
You need Papa to come in here? Just switch it to my shit. I have 5 accounts.
Yeah, I might be able to switch the AdSense. It's because of the Google account that it's signed up to.
Right.
But I've been trying to
sign into your AdSense accounts to verify your address using the PIN code mailed to your billing address. That's so funny.
It's actually so brain dead stupid, and I've talked to so many people on YouTube's team, and they all know less than I do about it because I've had to go through it. And they're like, "Have you tried this?" I'm like, "Yes, that's the first thing I've obviously fucking tried." It's so annoying. It's one of the worst things when you're talking to a customer service person and they treat you like the general public and not like
Yeah, it's
Which
funny
is
because no one
fine,
thinks
but-
they're the general public, but there's a reason they have like the order of operations. It's because it solves most issues.
Yeah, but it's extra annoying when I email them saying, hey, I've tried all of the things that it says. I've
Right,
done all
that
the
are on
things
the
that you've
list,
asked me
yeah.
to do that are online. And that's why I'm now speaking to a regular human, because I've done all the help things. And they'll reply to that email with a link to the help thing being like, hey, have you tried any of these steps first? And
That is tough.
yeah, it's just really annoying. But sorry, with High School Musical 3, it's actually a good movie. Let's talk about that.
Rocketman ain't good, but the rest of it is good.
Yeah, there was. Hey, I am a stickler for cringe plot contrivances. So my one gripe with this movie, because I think for the most part the movie knows exactly what it is, does it really, really well. Songs great, choreography great, characters great. Even for the most part, the motivations are really good.
Yes.
And then for me, it falls apart at like the final hurdle when we were talking a lot, Stanz, as we were going through the movie, of how the characters seem to want different things, and we didn't know what the moral resolution of the whole movie was going to be with going to
I think
universities.
we were scared that there could be a bad lesson taken from the movie. That
Yeah.
was what like got me. I was shivering the whole time.
And I think there was. I think it was a bad resolution. And as the bad resolution was happening, I think you were kind of on board with it. So I don't know if you remember
So let me try and describe what at least I feared.
Go.
And that was that right now we have Zac Efron and Gabriella who are in love, but they're going separate ways. He's obviously a basketball player, but also a singer. And she is like a smart kid who's going to go to Stanford. And the fear in my heart, because she's saying like, maybe I'll just stay home a year. You know, I can hang around here in New
Yeah.
Mexico and you can play basketball, was that maybe she would do that. And then it's like, no, true love knows no bounds.
That
and
is
she's
true.
going to give up on her future.
The funny part
and that
was
did not
that you're hitting the nail on the head currently so far. But the funniest part for me with that plot line was that she didn't want to go to Stanford and she wanted to stay here with Zac Efron. And Zac Efron didn't want to stay in Arizona. He wanted to go do fucking singing somewhere
Anyway.
else.
Yeah.
And a lot of the movie, which this is where like the I don't know, the points that I have against this plot were Zac Efron being like, hey, you should do whatever you want. You should honestly, you should come back to Arizona if you want to come back to Arizona. In the meantime,
New Mexico, but sure.
yes, sorry, I keep on saying Arizona because that's fucking your university, isn't it?
Yep. It is.
Yeah, that's why I'm getting mixed up. And they keep on saying U of A. They did, right? Is that why I got fucked up?
Yeah, because it was University of Albuquerque. in New
Yes.
Mexico.
Okay, that's my bad. But he's like, hey, you stay here because that's what you want to do. But then knowing that he wants to not stay and he wants to go. So it was just very strange. Especially because the way the movie like resolved those things was the worst thing didn't happen for you, which was she actually went to Stanford, right? She didn't sacrifice her dreams and stay in Arizona for
Yeah, it was only like a
year.
half bad thing. She went to Stanford. She didn't sacrifice anything. But can I spoil like the big end of the movie?
go.
Which is that Zac Efron says that he's not going to University of Albuquerque. He's going to Berkeley, where he's going to play basketball and sing. And that's fine. But then he drops the bomb that kind of like ruins everything. It like takes the wind out of the sails and is only 17 miles away from Stanford University. And everyone like howls and is like, yeah, it's true love. And it's like, wait, is that why he did it?
Yeah, everyone gets the fucking best Hollywood endings, which is kind of, it's a Disney movie. I don't know what really we were expecting. It should have.
I wish he just didn't play basketball. I wish he's like, I'm going to New York to study theater.
Yeah,
You
that
know?
was another annoying thing. Well, that's one of the annoying things. The fact that the whole every single movie's plot was lit. The arc was, oh my god, I like basketball and songs. How will I do this? It was every move. They did it 3 times and reset it every time. They even got the same dad that overcame it in the first movie to get really annoyed about it again in the third movie. Whatever.
True.
But no, the biggest annoyance for me was when Gabriella, I forgot her name, I was going to say Vanessa. When Gabriella was like, hey, I'm going to Stanford and I'm trying out at Stanford. This will be fun. And then like the day before prom or the day of prom, it was really hard to tell timings in this movie.
Sure.
She calls him and goes, Turns out I'm not coming back. I don't want to have to say goodbye to you multiple times. And if we're going to be living in different colleges, then I'm not going to say goodbye to you. I'm not going to come back just to say goodbye to you again. So I'm just going to stay. Which, hey, very cringe of her to do, like, the day of. You should have maybe, I don't know, I guess she's only just realized that how hard it was to say goodbye. And if she was going to have to say goodbye, then she should do it then. It makes a little bit of sense. It's less of her being cringe. But then
you want to know my take?
Go ahead. What's your take on that? Stop doing
Based alert! Fucking sick, dude. Great decision. She nipped it in the bud.
Yeah.
She went. She's like, you know what? This is going to be really hard. I think that we're not going to be able to stay together, and so I'll just do it right now. Yeah, it was sick.
I understand. I don't think the way she did it was good, but. I agree with the sentiment. I just it was also annoying because you can tell the way a movie, especially a Disney movie, like they're not very subtle about these things. This wasn't the end of their like situation, right? They're not going to end the movie.
It would be crazy if she called and was like, "I'll never see you again." He's like, "Okay,"
and they actually never see each other again, right? So I could tell that this isn't the end of their situation. So to frame this actually kind of mature way of dealing with things and reasoning things as she's being a bad guy, like if she just said that in a nicer way, that could have been the end of the movie and it would have been a really good like based moral thing, right? But the way they were doing it was like she was the bad guy for doing it and this was a big, oh my god, how could she? And then it gets worse. Because then he's like, you know what? I'm not going to respect her thoughts and opinions. I'm just going to travel to Stanford so that she has to at least say goodbye to me one more time if she's going to say goodbye to me, because I'm forcing her to see me. The thing that she's specifically, she doesn't want to break up with me because she doesn't love me. She wants to break up with me because she knows she's going to have to say goodbye and she doesn't want to have to go through that again. Tough shit. You're going to have to do it to my face because I'm going all the way to Stanford to dance with you. And then she's okay with it. Why?
You know what? I have a thought about this.
Don't play a soundboard.
Based alert.
It's not based.
So
how is
sick.
that based?
It's sick for both of them.
No!
She was strong and stood her line, and he said, you know what? I'm going to give this one chance. She could have still said no. She could have said, hey, this is sweet you coming here, but it's over. Would have been fine.
No, it wouldn't have been. So if I was her and I actually meant what I said, which is, hey, I want us to break up because I don't want to have to say goodbye to you again. And we're going to be living in different places. So it doesn't make sense for us to stay together if we're living in different places. So this is complete goodbye. Then if my significant other then traveled and went, hey, I'm here. Then sure, I love them, so that's great, but I have to say goodbye to them again, which is the whole reason that I wanted to break up with them. So that's cringe.
Sure.
That's just bad. That's just not a good thing. And then the whole entire movie views it as a good thing. And also, in fucking Thingy's head, he's like, I'm going to be staying in Arizona anyway, so you're going to have to come back and then bye, see you later. It's like he gets to decide when she is like saying goodbye. She was like, I want to say goodbye now on the phone. He's like, no. You come to prom, you do the performance, and then you say goodbye, actually, bitch.
But you know, he was just saying, I'm going to give it a shot. She could have said no up there. I think they both just shot their shot.
She could have said no, when he drove all the way to Stanford?
Yeah.
Yeah, well, what I'm saying is she obviously wasn't thinking those things that she said on the phone, because then she's just really happy that he's turned up. I'm saying that they should have made that be the actual good thing, right? That she's become, like, she had a really mature reasoning and was like, yeah, I think, this isn't going to work. Because that's like...
I'm fine with it either way, I guess.
That's most relationships. As we were talking about throughout the whole movie, like, if you're, like, having a high school relationship, then going to college, they're, like, different times. And even if you work together really well, sometimes, like, long distance fucking sucks. And I think the moral of that story should be, hey, long distance sucks. Okay, sick rewriting. They split up. And they actually go with that. And then there's like a fucking 10 years later or whatever, and they like have a meet cute in a fucking cafe. And he's like the leader of the basketball team at Arizona, fucking wherever the fuck they are.
Albuquerque. Yeah.
And she's a fucking really cool professor, and she's doing a convention in town, and they fucking go like, oh my God. And then she's like, you've got your head in your game. And then they get together.
Your head in your game?
Yeah, she's really impressed with his head game. And then they get together.
I think we've summarized this movie.
That would be the perfect ending. Prove me wrong. Tell me I'm wrong in the comments. That'd be sick.
Yeah, Baba Booey, man.
It is also, now I'm thinking about it, spoiler alert, if you haven't watched it, I did a live reaction to it on Binge Cringe on the Patreon. It is just the episode of the Anne Hathaway One Direction movie. Which was actually
Did they know each other
good.
in high school?
No, not at all. But they...
Isn't she supposed to be like a MILF? Isn't that the whole thing?
Yeah,
She's like young.
I mean,
okay.
Is she not?
No, I mean for the movie, of course. But for the movie.
For the movie, yes. It's not awful. And there's another one with Zac Efron, actually, that I watched recently, also on Binge Cringe. Before we end this recording, because I think we're wrapping up, this is end of High School Musical 3 talk. Because
end of High School Musical forever. Let's say that.
Actually, true. I mean, there's High School Musical, the series, and hey, maybe they do like a new thing down the line. But it was their thoughts. Stanz, wrap up High School Musical. What are your thoughts on it as a whole franchise?
In the immortal words of a scholar and poet, I could have done without that one.
No, what? The whole thing?
High School
you could have done without
it for me. Yeah, I don't give a shit. I think it was when it was campiest, it was funny, right? When we had Sharpay and Ryan doing their shit.
Dude.
But other than that, it was too serious. It was like for kids who really were like in high school.
No, High School Musical 3 was actually I was shitting on it for a while. It's actually good, bro. The boys are back. The junkyard scene. The best part
of the junkyard scene was when they turned into kids and it was campy again.
It was sick. Yeah, all of it was campy. The whole movie, everything was campy. Yeah, that's good. It was good. It was fun. The fucking Inception before Inception did it. Hello?
Inception before Inception did it was the craziest part of it.
That was so sick. Apparently he sprained his ankle doing that, I learned. In the Fun Facts episode. The Fun Facts never stop here, guys. Whoa. You never know when the next Fun Fact's going to hit you.
It'll hit you. Follow the Twitter account because fun facts are coming.
Yeah, because Hawk 2 has got a lot of opinions on Glee, so follow the Twitter account. I saw you like that one.
I like all of them, man.
But one thing I wanted to say before we end this episode is it was about Zac Efron. Fuck, what were we? Was it this? I don't think it was.
You tell me.
I don't know. There was something I was going to say, and I was like, oh, we should end High School Musical. And then we ended High School Musical, and I've forgotten the thing I was going to say. I don't really know what I was going to say about it. So, thanks for watching.
Yippee!
Well, yippee isn't your catchphrase. What's your catchphrase, Stanz?
Mamma mia!
Does that count as a catchphrase? What's that catchphrase?
That counts as a catchphrase. You question all of them, I'm stopping the recording.
He's mad. Oh, we're going through a divorce. Oh, no.